Okay, so this is the raised bed that I have in my backyard. This is the GeoDrop sensor. I basically just dug a hole over here with my finger, with my hand and my fingers, because for a raised bed, it's so soft. The soil, the compost and garden soils, they're so soft that I don't really use a shovel for these. But once you have that, make sure the hole here is only for the battery compartment. And the two sensor probes are grabbing between like this compost soil over here. And you push it in like this. Once you finish pushing it in, what I actually do is I actually push the soil on both sides towards the sensor probe. The soil between the probes will be slightly higher density than the rest of the raised bed. And that's okay, because as water moves around, it will have slightly higher moisture accumulated in there, but in general, the evaporation rate is roughly proportional. So just make sure you squeeze it in there. And then once it initializes and able to get a nice lock on the soil, then everything else should be okay. So basically I squeeze it. Let me switch a hand. I squeeze it like this just because of how soft the compost soil is. So yeah, that should do it. Oh, one last thing. Make sure this LED is actually blinking blue about once every 10 seconds before you insert. So that means software has successfully initiated and then initialized, and then it's basically just blinking every 10 seconds, waiting and sensing, wanting to get a nice soil lock. During that period, though, by the way, the battery will actually drain slightly quicker than usual. But once it gets in there, though, and actually senses the soil, in general, it's smart enough to determine how frequently you should wake up itself. But in general, it wakes itself up once every 30 minutes to an hour, because the moisture doesn't change that much throughout the day. So sensing once every 30 minutes to an hour is actually enough. So before it's properly locked onto a soil cell, the battery may be draining just slightly quicker than usual. So yeah,